Hello and welcome to the weekly broadcast of Strategic Speaking for Results. I'm Elizabeth Bachman, your host, and today I'm talking about how important it is to put your own mask on first. That's figuratively speaking, taking the time for yourself to think about and work on your long-term projects, setting things up that need to be done or the things that you've been putting off, which is my problem. And how do you find the time? Because, of course, there are always and always will be crises that need to be answered. Dr. Stephen Kirsch, been a regular guest on my podcast and is my business coach, always says, if you start out the day by answering your emails, then you are working on other people's priorities, not on yours. And he's totally right. It's totally right. And it's really hard to not respond to emails. To a certain point, I think, at a certain extent, I think I don't beat myself up for getting caught in a rabbit hole, say, of social media, because I think Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and all these companies have spent billions of dollars trying to get me to click to the next thing. So I'm human. It worked. The important thing is to make sure that you take time for yourself. Meditate and doing some journaling, meditating first thing in the morning or last thing at night before you go to bed. And also each week, take an hour or two to focus on your long-term projects, the things that are important but not urgent. That is where it's about putting your own mask on first so that then you can turn around and help other people. Because if you don't, all those things that you were going to get to, didn't happen because you were answering other people's priorities. So how do you do it? How do you organize this? This is part of what I've designed in the Visible and Valued Leadership Certification Program, because it's a problem that I have, is have a partner, have an ally. Make sure that you meet with your partner once a week and bookend. It's called bookending. If you check in with each other at the beginning of the hour and then say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 things. And then at the end of the hour, you check back in. How did it go? Sometimes you can both be on Zoom or FaceTime or something, turn off your microphone, but keep your camera on in the corner so that you can see that the other person's actually there. Do it with a partner. That's why we have the mastermind calls as part of the Visible and Valued Leadership Certification Program, because it makes you think about your long-term projects. It gives you a reason to show up every 2 weeks. My client, Maria, a year ago, she wrote to me and she talked about how she was being overlooked in meetings. She didn't know how things were going to go. And she learned so much from working with the visible and valued techniques that now she gets invited to the important meetings and that she can see vice president in her near future. Maria wrote that a year ago, and it's been up on my website for quite some time. What I haven't updated is that within 6 months, not within 4 months, Maria was promoted to vice president, and 3 months later, she was recruited to another fabulous company to be at the C-level. So she's a chief of operations for a big data firm. Not allowed to tell you which one, but you would recognize the name. It works. Taking the time for yourself, meeting up with your friend and doing it, make sure it's sacred. Don't blow it off. Make sure that you do this every week, and you will see the results. This has been Elizabeth Bachman. I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget, put your own mask on first.